So hi and welcome to part 8 in the remakes of the How to Make Your Own Social Network series. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making the user login work since the last time we made the user registration work. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to say already a member, sign in below. And then here we're just going to create another form. We're going to set the action equal to index.php. We actually should have done that for this one, but it doesn't matter. Just set it equal to index.php now. And we'll set the method equal to get. Actually, we'll set it to post. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to just copy two fields from here. Actually, we'll copy the bottom two. And we'll paste them up here. We'll obviously change this one to login. Change this one to username and password. And we'll we'll leave that a text for now. And then what we want to do is we want to actually do the PHP code. So we'll just refresh to see what it looks. So let's just refresh this page. And here's how our login looks here. So what we're going to do is we're going to come down here. I'll just create a comment that says user login code. Whoops. And we're going to start that now. So the first thing we're going to do is we're saying if is set post user login and password login. So let's change this to user underscore login and password underscore login. So if these two fields have been submitted, which they will be whenever the form is submitted, we want to get the value of the user login and the password login text boxes, but we also want to do a preg replace, which should make sure that only capital letters, lowercase letters, and numbers get through, and the same for the passwords. Everything else will get just removed before it even gets close to the database. Okay, so what this code does is it says MySQL query. So we're querying the database again. We're saying select ID from users where username equals user login and password equals password login limit 1. And what that means is we're selecting a row from the database where the username is equal to the username that was submitted in the form and the password is equal to the password that was submitted in the form, and we're limiting it so that there should only be one returned. If there is one returned, then well, actually what we're doing here, we're getting the MySQL num rows of the query, and if the user count equals 1, which means if there's a user in the database with those credentials, we want to run this while loop. We want to run this while loop, but we also want to actually just log the user in, which is what we're doing here, which is by setting a session. So we're setting the session ID equal to the ID variable and the session user login equal to the user login variable. And we can actually get rid of password login, or the password login session, and we'll actually get rid of the session ID session. We only want one session, which is user login, and we're setting it equal to the user login variable, which is the username of the person who logged in. And then we're just gonna paste this last code in, which says exit. So after we've logged the user in and redirected them back to the index page to refresh the page, we want to exit the script in case for some reason we didn't redirect. For some reason, in case the header function fails, we want to exit the script anyway. And then we want to say if user count doesn't equal 1, then the information is incorrect, and we want to exit the script as well. So let's try that. Actually, this won't work until we go into our header file and we want to create a session. So what we're going to do is we're just going to paste this code up here in. So this says session start, which is the function we have to have at the start of every page we want to use sessions on. And we want to say if the session user login is not set, do nothing, and if the session user login is set, we want to redirect them to home.php. And then we want to create the home.php page. So let's go back here, create home.php, and we also want to create logout.php. So the logout one we'll do first, it's the easiest. So we'll just say session start, and then session decode, session destroy, and then we want to say header location index.php. So that's the login the logout page done, and we want to just do this on the header page or the home page. We want to include the header file again. So let's come back up here, include the header file. Include it there, and we want to say echo user underscore login. And we actually want to just echo session user login. So user underscore login, which should echo the username of the user who's logged in. So let's try this now. So I'm going to use the credentials from the last video. So I use the username Francis and the password. I click login. Okay, please fill in all fields. Okay, so we've got a problem with that again. So let's go back to our index page. Scroll down and find let's see. Okay, the reason we got the error is because we have the name reg for both the login submit button and the register submit button. So we'll just say login, and we'll come back up here, and we actually don't need to change anything else. So let's try this again. Let's try Francis for the username and password. For the password, we're going to click login. Okay, that information is incorrect. Okay, the reason that we got that information is incorrect is because password login isn't encrypted, but it is in the database. So we need to just go in here and say password login md5 equals md5 password underscore login, and then we just change this to password login underscore md5. Let's try that. Okay, it's taking its time, but it should work. It's probably got us stuck in it's called a redirect loop, which is probably what's gonna happen. So let's just say get rid of that, get rid of the header. Actually, just calling it out. And let's try one more time. Okay, so it should have logged us in, so let's go to the home.php page. And as you can see now, it echoes our username, so it is logged in, but we were getting a redirect loop, which is why it was taking so long. So let's go to logout.php, and then let's go back to home.php, and what should happen is it should be blank. Or yeah, we get the error for undefined index because the variable doesn't exist, because we're not logged in. So that's it there. We've finished the login script. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.